What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video we're going to be doing a detailed review on this Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 public land stand. Now all through the 2021 hunting season I ran this stand. I probably got 30 plus sits in it, so it's really given me the ability to test this stand out and get a feel for what I like and what I don't like. Now since running this stand and since posting pictures and videos on YouTube and Instagram, I've gotten a ton of questions. And in addition to that, I took a poll on my YouTube page and asked subscribers what they wanted to know, and they submitted some questions, and we're also going to talk about and address some of those. So real quick though, I do want to kind of go over the specifications because I do feel like that's pretty important. So this stand is advertised as a 5.7 pound tree stand, which is obviously extremely light. Now keep in mind, when they're taking weight on the tree stand, they don't have anything on it. It's basically naked. There's no backpack straps, no seat pads, no seat pouch, no cam buckles, anything. So like I said, 5.7 pounds. Now when I weighed it, I consider it like hunt ready with my sticks, my stick attachment method, both cam buckles that I run. I had a lineman's belt in here, a gear hook for my backpack. I was floating around right around 15 pounds. Now if I weighed this stand just with the backpack straps, seat pads, and empty seat pouch, I was right around that 7 pound mark. Now, like I said, you can tell I also have the Lone Wolf Custom Gear bow holder, so that's adding a little bit of weight to it as well. Now, talking about the dimensions of the stand, so you're looking at 23 inches in depth from the tree, and then you're looking at 16.5 inches at the widest point for the platform. Now the seat post is 18 inches, and this is probably one of the, I would say, more common complaints that people get is the fact that it is a pretty short seat post, but for me, I'm 5'8", so it's never really caused an issue for me. In regards to the seat itself, this is definitely pretty small, and I feel like they had to make it this small just because the depth of the stand is only 23 inches, but the seat you're looking at 9.5 by 10. So like I said, it is a very small seat. Now as far as like the manufacturing process goes, this is all made from 6061 American metal, and that's one thing that I love about Lone Wolf Custom Gear is all their material is sourced here in the USA. It's manufactured in the USA and it's built in the USA. Now, like I said, in regards to the manufacturing process, they take a single sheet of metal and then they water jet cut out all these holes for that weight reduction. Now, the problem with that is historically in the past, and this is also a common complaint that you'll hear, is that manufacturing method kind of results in very sharp edges. However, that has been addressed going forward, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. And then what's also really nice about this tree stand is it does have their patented hammered titanium finish, and then it is weighted for 300 pounds. So as far as like packability goes, I gotta say that this is probably the best system that I've used, and I call it a system because of how the sticks and everything just integrates together. So as you can see, Lone Wolf Custom Gear has added these holes or these ports that allow you to place your Lone Wolf Custom Gear mini sticks or full-length sticks in. And those sticks actually have rubber grommets, so as you're setting them in there, it further reduces some of that noise. In regards to the double step though, things get a little bit different. This stand, I know that when you go to put those double steps on it, basically you run the seat in the platform setting, and then they stack over the seat post, but there is a couple attachment points for the double steps themselves. So that's kind of the specs in a nutshell. Now, when talking about this setup compared to what I used to historically run in the past, so I ran a Lone Wolf Assault 2, and I weighed that stand also, but keep in mind I didn't have any cam buckles. I just basically had backpack straps, a waist belt, and a seat pad. Now once I added sticks, now again keep in mind no cam buckles or attachment methods for the sticks, I was right around that 20 pound mark. So there is a significant weight savings when you start looking at the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 and some of the other stands that are available on the market. And in my opinion, this is the lightest hang-on tree stand that is available to date with a 300 pound rating. Now let's kind of shift over and talk about like ease of hanging the stand, packability, which we kind of already talked about, but ease of hanging this stand versus what I used to historically run in the past, being that this stand is so light, that was probably one of the first things that I noticed when I did my first hang and hunt with the 0.5, is that it's just so light, it's unbelievable. So as you get up in the tree and you start to grab it and get it in position to hang it, obviously you can hold 5 pounds extended in your arm very easily. And then like if you needed to, you can set the stand or use your arm to kind of pinch it to the tree as you work your cam buckle around. That was probably the first thing that I noticed right out of the gate as I started hunting this. Real quick though, let's kind of jump over to some of the subscriber questions. And I'm going to apologize in advance if I butcher anyone's name, but the first one I got is from Leo B. So he asks, how sharp are the edges? Can you pack the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Minis with straps on? Is the weight significantly noticeable? I'm currently using an original Lone Wolf Assault and 4 full sticks. Worth the upgrade, question mark. So starting off from the top, yes, the edges are sharp, and that's just due to their manufacturing process and the fact that they water jet cut these stands. If you run this stand without any modifications with these sharp edges, over time you will definitely cut through your cam straps. Now keep in mind, going into 2022 and into the future, Lone Wolf Custom Gear has changed their manufacturing process a little bit, and what they're now doing is they're basically rounding out all their edges on their stand and their sticks. So going forward, I don't think you'll actually have an issue with this, and you wouldn't have to make any modifications to the stand itself. Now, if you do happen to buy like a used stand, you probably will, like I said, either have to add hockey tape or you'll have to Dremel the edges to round those out. Now, the only thing is with Dremeling them, just keep in mind is you do remove this hard titanium finish that they have, and I actually Dremeled the back of the stand just to kind of test it out, and I bought some Rust-Oleum spray paint. And if you look from a distance, you really can't notice the color difference. You can definitely feel how it smoothed out those edges and they're not as sharp. But keep in mind, like I said, if you buy a stand in 2022 going forward, that the sharp edges will most likely be addressed. So your next question was, can you pack the sticks to the stand with the straps on it? And the answer is yes. Keep in mind though, if you're going to run cam buckles, you're definitely going to want to do something to silence those cam buckles, because as you bounce them off the stand, they will make some noise. Personally, I run AM steel. I leave my AM steel wrapped around my sticks, and I've had no issues with packing those to the stand. In my opinion, with how light the AM steel is, and I run the USAs from the AM steel guy, with how light those are, how easy they are to hang, and how secure they actually get your sticks to the tree, I really don't see any reason why you would run cam buckles anymore. I feel like the cam buckles are super heavy. Actually 3 of my USAs, and those are 8-foot ropes, weigh the same as 1 cam buckle. So keep in mind, the more cam buckles you run, obviously the heavier your overall setup will get. So the last part of your question was about the weight savings. And the short answer is yes, 100% you will experience a significant weight savings by going with a Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 and the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Minis. Now, the long answer is, and I want to provide a little bit of background to this, is like, I used to run the Lone Wolf Assault 2, and I ran 3 full sticks. Now, if you look at that stand, and I'm going to say hunt ready with some type of carrying system, backpack straps, waist belt, you're floating right around 15 pounds. By the time you add 4 3-pound sticks, you're right around that 25, 30-pound mark once you start adding in all your cam buckles. So you will 100% experience a significant weight savings. And the main benefit of that, at least in my experience, is when I hunted with my old mobile hunting setup, the weight of that burned me out. I got tired of mobile hunting. It was a lot of effort. Crossing swamps was a pain in the ass. Dealing with the sticks that overhung the top of the stand, I'd get caught up on brush constantly. And like I said, it just wore me down, and I wasn't too happy, or I wasn't too motivated to get out and mobile hunt. Now, going over to the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5, and with how flush and how light and how compact everything is, it would be a 100% game changer for you. Like I said, the investment for a Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5 is not cheap. I'm not even gonna deny that. The stand itself is $4.99, and then the sticks are about $100 a piece. So if you got 4 sticks in a stand, you're looking at about $1,000. But you gotta ask yourself, like, you know, what do you spend $1,000 on in a year? I would guarantee if there was anyone that buys a case of beer a week, if you just cut that down, you could probably save enough money to buy the Lone Wolf Custom Gear setup. So and again, thank you for submitting that question. So the next one that I got was from Mark. He says, do you use a saddle with it as a hybrid platform? Does it lock to the tree decent? Any kickouts? Any mods? Do the cables pinch your calves when standing up with the seat in the upright position? So kind of, again, starting off from the top, no, I have never ran this as a hybrid setup with a saddle. But I do know people run this in a saddle setup as a hybrid platform. Basically, all they're doing is flipping the seat up, flipping the pad back, using it as a knee pad, and then you obviously have all that available space. And I think probably the most beneficial aspect of using this as a hybrid setup is if you look at some of your platforms like the Trophy Line Mission or the platforms available by Tethered. They're all about that 5-pound range until you start getting into those really compact saddle platforms. So like the amount of space that you have versus the weight, you know, it's kind of like a no-brainer to go with this. And then the added benefit of using it as a hybrid system is if you get uncomfortable or tired sitting in the saddle position, you can put the seat down, flip the pad, and just sit down as you would in a normal hang-on. So it's a very versatile setup. The next question that you had is, does it lock to the tree decent, and have I experienced any kickouts? So the answer is no. I have not experienced any kickouts, and it does lock to the tree very decent. There's never been a time where I felt unsafe in this tree stand, but you have to make sure that you are setting up the stand properly to ensure that you're not going to have any of those issues. And if you set up your stand and you step up in it and you see this tree cleat or this bat wing pull away from that tree, then you are hunting in an unsafe tree stand. And basically all you need to really do to address that is cam the stand to the tree. Now, for me personally, what I like to do is I get the stand on the tree, I get my first cam buckle or my top cam buckle set, and I fold that platform up and I remove as much slack as I possibly can. And what I'm basically doing is using the strap as kind of like a little bit of almost kind of like a ratchet system, right? I pull forward and I pull back, and in my experience, that gets a lot of that slack all the way out of that cam buckle strap, and then from there I pull down on the stand before I put the platform down, and that really allows the stand to bite to the tree, almost to the point where I feel like I could probably hunt out of it without camming it, but I always cam the stand once I step up in it. And then in addition to that, I always run a bottom cam buckle. Now, there's a lot of people who don't, and there's a lot of people that say it's unnecessary, but for me personally, carrying those extra 5 ounces and having that added assurance to reduce any kickouts is worth it in my opinion. So by doing that type of method, like I said, I've never had any issues with kickouts, and I've never had any concerns with this not being secure to the tree. Now, your next question was, do the cables pinch your calves? And the answer is yes, but the answer is also no. You'll experience, like, if you stand feet together all the way back up against the tree and as far back on the platform as you possibly can get, yes, these cables will pinch your calves. But for me personally, what I've always done is I just stand a little bit forward to the point where my calves are up against the cable, but not to the point where they're pinching it, and then I kind of just lean back on the tree a little bit. And then what I find myself doing a lot, honestly, is just kind of turning to the side, and what that allows me to do is that allows me to stand basically right up against the tree all the way back on the platform, and then at that point I'm not pinching my calves. So that's my workaround in regards to that. And then keep in mind, if you're running rubber boots and you don't add some type of covering to your cables, they will squeak a little bit. So basically, again, I just added hockey tape, took a long strip and folded it over each one of the cables, and I've had no issues with these cables squeaking on my boots. So to answer your last question on modifications, so I really haven't done any other than adding the tape that we had already talked about to the cables and then various spots on the stand. I did do a little bit of dremeling on the back, and again, that's just because I run it with my Kifaru Striker XL, and I actually run 2 straps here to secure it to the frame, and I didn't want those straps to cut over time. I added the bow holder. I will add another one to the seat in 2022, but probably the most significant upgrade was just adding the seat pouch right here. And the reason that I did that is because I do transition from different backpacks depending on if it's early season or late season. And as I transition between those bags, I don't want to forget some of the critical items that I need. Other than that, no real modifications. I did double up the seat pad just to add some additional comfort, but again, nothing too serious. So the next question that we got was from Tim, and he says, in the picture that I posted on my YouTube poll, he says, what bow holder is that? I'm looking for one for my Lone Wolf hand climber. So, but like I said, this is the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Sidekick. I'm not 100% sure if it would work on your climber, but I'm sure there would probably be a way that you could make some modifications, but there may be some other type of bow holders that you might want to consider. Now, keep in mind, and this is all new coming from the ATA 2022 show, is they do have another bow holder that they're coming out with that will allow you to attach it to your seat. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that modification to the bow holder would work for your climber, but it's definitely something that's worth checking out. I run a Matthews VXR, and then going into the 2022 season, I have a Matthews V3 that I'm going to set up, and I'll continue to use this bow holder. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I would think that with some modifications, you'd probably be able to run this bow holder. So the next question that I got is from It's John Yang. Which of the Lone Wolf climbing sticks will pack nicely, easier, and faster with the 0.5? Now, unfortunately, I have a double step on order, but it has not arrived, so I can't really speak to how it packs to the stand. Now, I have a buddy who runs the double steps. He loves them. He doesn't pack them to the stand just due to the fact that they are noisy sticks. So if you follow any of the social media forums, people refer to them as tuning forks. So if you get the double steps, keep in mind you do have to take some extra precautions as far as the noise. A lot of people are looking for pretty interesting ways to kind of stealth strip them out, or add rhino lining bed spray to them to dampen that sound. Now, as far as like easeability or how fast you can pack the sticks to the stand, I would probably say that the double steps would be faster, just due to the fact that you're not using, and this is in my experience, not using any of the J hooks, because with the J hooks there is a little bit of fiddle factor, and with the double steps they basically stack right over the seat post, and then basically you can utilize a cam buckle and hook it onto these 2 attachment points on the stand, and then just tighten down that cam buckle, and that will secure your sticks to the stand itself. So in regards to how fast it is, I would think that would be the faster of the 2 options available. But as far as how nice they pack to the stand, I would give that to the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Minis, just due to the fact that they attach to the stand, and they really don't increase the overall profile of the stand, and it keeps everything very, very nice and tight to your back. Whereas the double steps, they basically stack over the seat post, and then because of the brackets that are on them, as you stack them, it obviously gets a little further from your back. And then me personally, I always like to run a backpack on my seat. So by putting those sticks, you do take a little bit of that seat real estate. And like I said, you're not dealing with a lot to begin with. But in my opinion, like I said, I would give it to the Lone Wolf Custom Gear Minis. Now keep in mind though, like I said, I do have a double step on the way. And my plan is to basically run 2 single steps with J hooks, and then I'm going to run a double step, and I'm going to run that double step as my top step, just due to the fact that I want both of my feet to be level when I go to hang my stand versus having them being offset. So you can kind of play around with it a little bit and see which works best for you as you guys start to use this tree stand a little bit more. Now, but that's it for the subscriber questions. But before we go, the last thing that I want to address, and probably the most frequently asked question, is do I feel like the Lone Wolf Custom Gear products are worth it? And I have to say 100% I would buy this stand over if I had the chance. I know it's very expensive, but if it's within your budget, I would highly recommend giving Lone Wolf Custom Gear a chance. It's kind of hard to see when you're looking at stuff online, but once you get a Lone Wolf Custom Gear product in your possession, you'll quickly realize why it costs the amount of money that it does. Like I said, the engineering, the thought process that goes into it, the craftsmanship, the excellent customer service is really next level, and in my experience, this setup is by far more superior than anything that I've ever used. So the good thing with Lone Wolf Custom Gear, and it's crazy to think about, but these products, for whatever reason, hold their value. You could literally buy a stand, and if you happen to not like it, you could literally sell that for exactly what you paid for, and I guarantee you it would not last on the market for more than a day or two. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. If you do buy it, you don't like it, you can always resell it. Lone Wolf Custom Gear does have a return policy as well. I'm not sure as to what their restocking fees are, but like I said, it is definitely worth it, and I would buy this setup again and again and again. I do believe that it has changed the way that I hunt and will continue to change the way that I hunt going into the future. So but that's it for the video. I apologize that this was a long-winded one. We don't typically do 20-30 minute videos, but I wanted to make sure that I covered all the details of the stand that I felt were important, and then mainly I wanted to make sure that I addressed your guys' questions in depth. If you guys have any additional questions, you can always leave me a comment below, and you can always reach out to me on Instagram. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. If you guys have not checked out MichiganAmbushOutdoors.com, please go over there. We do have some merch available. Your guys' purchases of our merch greatly supports this channel, keeps us doing what we're doing, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys on the next one.